Good morning and welcome to challenge day 3. I promise you that I'm going to get a haircut at some point before the masterclass on Monday. It can't just keep growing. I won't be able to see soon. I'm going to get one. If you are here, can you let me know that you are here? It's not telling me anything at the moment. It's been so glitchy, Facebook. Loads of people are saying that it was glitchy 2 days ago, and then some people were saying it was glitchy yesterday. I'm hoping that today it's not glitchy and that you can just see me. But let me know if you can see me. Morning, Hannah. I can see you. Really nice to see you. Thank you for getting this far. You're halfway through. You're halfway through the competition and you've got this far. So you're doing okay. Let's see how many people we've got doing day 3. It drops each day, you see, as people get scared that they can't do it or start telling themselves they can't do it or having imposter syndrome or, you know, people call it imposter syndrome. I don't call it that. Or, you know, having narratives in their head that there's too many people doing it already and so it's not going to be something that they can do. And, you know, people tell themselves all these different things. And I'm not judging it because I used to do exactly the same thing. I would tell myself that I couldn't do things, would tell myself that it was easier for other people because they, I don't know, made up stuff, had money and were one of the first people to do things and had better ideas than me and all the things. But I don't do that anymore. I just go for things, and that's why I've made the money. And I want you to just go for things so that you can also make the money. So tell me, how did you find yesterday? You're good? Is it all done? Hopefully by now, this is at the stage of the process you should be at. You should have thought about some ideas of what you could do for passive income. You should have gone through the 4 different things. So, you know, is this something that you're going to be doing from a hobby or just from something that you know? Is it from your business that you already have that you're going to bring online? Is it something that you used to do one-to-one that you're going to now do one-to-many people at the same time in a course? Is it something that you used to do in a job that you've realized you can make some money out of by teaching other people? Is it something that actually you are going to teach your competition? Now, we had a question about this last night, which I liked. Someone said, is it really a good idea to teach people how to do what you do? I actually think there are the 2 best ways that we can do things is either teach somebody something that they can't afford to buy from us. So, for instance, like we said about the website designer, teach somebody how to do their own website because they can't afford you. I think the second best idea is to teach people how to become you. So teach other people how to become web designers. Create your own competition. The thing with creating your own competition is, no, it doesn't take away from you because there's a hierarchy. And if you have helped other people become branding designers or website designers, then people are going to see you as up here because you are also a teacher to other people. So first of all, it doesn't create your competition, even though it looks like it is. But secondly, there's no such thing as competition because there's too many people out there. So it doesn't even really matter. People will buy from you because of you, because of how you show up, because they resonate with you and your story, because you're all personal brands. And so actually, we never need to worry about creating our competition. And I believe we should create our competition. We should help other people get there as well. So don't worry about that part. So you should have thought of your idea, and then you should have thought, okay, I'm going to pick one of those ideas for now. It's maybe not going to be the idea that you go with for the rest of your life, but it's just the one for now so that you can see how the process works. And then you've thought, okay, well, now I need to follow Lisa's cash system. And part B, you know, the second part of the cash system is audience. So I'm going to need to grow an audience of those people that I want to teach something to. Okay, to grow an audience, one of the quick ways of doing that is to have a funnel that I can use to get people onto my email list. The reason we're going to get people onto our email list is because even if we've got social media doesn't belong to us. When you collect people's emails, they belong to you. Social media doesn't at all. I can't tell you how many people have had their social media accounts shut down and have had a really good business and then have had no business at all because it's been shut down. We don't want that to happen to you. So what we then do is decide to grow an email list using something that we know our ideal client want. So we're going to think up a really good freebie for them. But even more than that, we're going to think up a freebie title for them. So we've got the freebie title. We put that title out there. We create the actual freebie. And then people come onto the email list. Then what we're going to do is part 3. And that is today's part of the challenge. So you are up to date if you've got to that point. If you haven't got to that point yet, go back and listen to parts 1 and 2. You will see everything you need to see right at the top of the Facebook group. There's a whole featured posts where they put everything on there so that you can go straight to them and see them. All right. Yeah, an email list massively changes the game. If I look at how much money I've made in business, so like in the first 6 months of business, I made 100,000. In the first year, I made 220,000. Still didn't have a website by that point, by the way. And my email list has gone, if you look at like my email list numbers going up, that's in exact correlation to the millions going up. So it's definitely a sort of numbers game. Part of it is, not all of it, but part of it is. And lots of you have said, I didn't realise it would be this simple. I thought it had to be complicated. Loads of people think it has to be complicated. There are complicated bits. Like in one-to-many, the reason that we do the tech for you is because that bit is the bit that people don't like. But you can just learn how to do it yourself. It's like there are little complicated bits, but we can get through them. And it's not really complicated. If one person can do it, anyone can do it. If I can do it, hopefully you're looking at me going, she seems pretty normal. She doesn't seem like somebody that knows the tech very well. You would be correct. But I've still been able to do it. And so that means you can as well. And confidence grows as you do it. So don't worry about like, oh, I don't have the confidence to do this. You won't be confident yet. Why would you be? You're doing it as you go along. So it's okay not to be perfectly confident, not to be, have all your ducks in a row when you're doing something. You don't need to have, because you will learn as you go along. Okay, so part 3 is about the content, because once you've got that email list and you are writing once a week, let's say, to your email list, so they're keeping you top of mind, you're just giving them a bit of a heads up of what you're doing, kind of like a newsletter vibe. If you're not subscribed to mine, go and subscribe to it. It's on my website. But basically, all I do is send out an email doing a kind of just like a story so that people get to know me a bit better. So that when I sell something, they're like, not, who is this person? But, oh, it's Lisa. She's got this course. I know about her. She's been writing to me all the time, every week. So then you're at this point where people will tell you what they want. So whether you have people in a Facebook group, and we're not going to go into a lot of that here. We do go into it in one-to-many, but that's just more ways to grow an audience. But wherever they are, when we discuss funnels, can it be as simple as a blog post with a sign-up link? Yeah, well, that could be your traffic source, yeah. So that could be where people come into your email list from, yes. But you'd still need a funnel after that to funnel people through, to nurture them so that they're ready to buy. So then people are going to ask you for things. So for instance, I had a Facebook group and an email list, and people on both of those things would say, oh, I wish I could learn how to do this. And so they were telling me what they wanted. So then I was able to go, okay, the things they're having problems with is they don't know how to grow an email list, or they don't know how to put their first offer out there, or they don't know how to write the course, all of those kind of things. That's what helped me. Yeah, people do reply to my emails. That's what helped me to know what were the first things to create. I asked my audience, what is it that you need? And that's a good thing about growing an email list, because you can do that. So then you need to write the course or the membership. So let's just talk about both of those things, because I think courses and memberships are the easiest and most profitable way to make passive income. So courses, normally around 6 to 12 weeks, 6 to 12 modules. You can either do it live, and I would always say the first time you should teach it live, and then you can record it and teach it what's called evergreen, which means people can just buy it when you're, like we talked about at the beginning, like the proper passive way. You're asleep, people can buy it. But I actually prefer teaching it live, first of all, so you can see the interaction from people, you can see what they need. I still teach one-to-many live now, because I think people get better results when I do it live. So that's the next thing you're going to do. But what we don't want is for you, there's two things here. First of all, I don't ever create any course at all until people have bought it. I know that blows people's minds, but if they've bought it, I know they want it, and I will write it as I go along because I know exactly what I want to say. The second thing is, when you're writing a course, you are going to want to tell people everything you know about a subject. Do not do this. All it does is overwhelm people. People don't need to know everything on a subject. You don't need to know everything about passive income. I don't teach you everything I know about passive income in one-to-many because you'd be like, oh my God, this is too much information. What I do is look at the transformation. And this is the same thing when it comes to a membership. How long should a course be live? I mean, you can do, some people do bite-sized 5 minutes. Some people do 30 minutes. I like to do about an hour per module. I have courses that are 6 modules. I have some courses that are 10 modules. My main big course, One-to-Many, is 12 modules. So that's one way of doing things. But a membership is another way of doing things. And that a membership is where you curate a group, a community of people, and you don't even have to be the one teaching everything in there. You can be, but you could also bring other speakers in to teach something. So you don't have to even be the expert. You're just the curator, the gatherer of the experts. And that's a really good way to make passive income. So I have a membership. My membership is called the Strategy Club, and it costs £35 a month. And we make £500,000 every year just from that membership. And I am only in it once a week for about 10 to 20 minutes. That is it. And it works really well. That's what people need. People do not want to be overwhelmed with things. So when you're looking at your course content, don't put everything in that you know. So the most important thing about a course isn't the modules. I'm going to tell you something that you might not realise. People don't want to learn things. I know that you'll be like, what? Of course they do. I love learning. You don't love learning. You love transforming. People want the end result. If you say, these are all the things that you're going to have to learn. Like if I tell you, these are all the things you're going to have to learn in One-to-Many, and I list them all off, you're going to be like, oh God, that sounds like a hard work. I don't want to learn all those things. But if I tell you that in One-to-Many, you're going to start off not knowing or just about understanding a little bit about how to make passive income, but by the end of it, you are going to be making passive income. You're going to know exactly what to do, and you're going to be able to have £10,000 to £50,000 months. You want that. You don't care about what you're going to learn to get there. You know you have to learn something, but it's not the sexy bit. So some people use the phrase, sell the sizzle, not the sausage. And I think that's really what it's about, because it's about selling the result, selling the end transformation. The transformation of a course is so much more important. So when you write a sales page and say, you know, this is what we do, instead of having a website, we have a sales page. And on that sales page, it will say what the course is, who it's for. You'll see mine. Next Monday, One-to-Many comes out. You'll be able to look at mine and you'll be able to see what a sales page looks like. And it will tell you everything, and it will probably tell you the modules in it and that kind of thing. But actually, what it will tell you is the transformation that you're going to get, because that's more important. So let's take an example. Let's say somebody wants to learn how to play the piano. They're at point A. This is me. Point A of me is I do not know how to play the piano. I am useless on a piano. I just kind of plink and plonk about a bit and sound like a 4-year-old playing on a piano. That is my point A. Where I want to be is point B. Where is point B? Point B is me being that cool person in a train station when there's a piano who just sort of sidles over and sits down and plays Beethoven. That's who I want to be. That is not who I am, but that is who I would like to be. And so that's kind of the end result, to be able to play this amazing piece on a piano. So I know deep down, and you know, if you are a piano teacher, that what I'm going to need to know is things like chords, things like melodies. I'm making this shit up because I honestly have no idea what I would need to know. That's how bad I am at playing a piano. But let's say there are certain things like reading music that I would need to know. So these are things that you know would need to go into the course, right? So What you're selling people isn't, I'm going to teach you chords, I'm going to teach you melodies, I'm going to teach you other things. What you're actually selling people is you're going to go from beginner to Beethoven. That is the transformation statement, because somebody like me looks at that and goes, that's what I want. I am beginner and I want to be Beethoven. And so sell the transformation statement. So rather than like hear all these things, and everything can have a transformation statement, the transformation statement is simply where you are at the beginning to where they're going to be. Scales, that's it. I'm going to have to learn scales. Where you are at the beginning to where you are at the end. It doesn't have to be a from this to this. And that's very simplistic. But for instance, in my passive income course, it's from not making any money and being broke, having to work all the time and having no freedom, to working less hours, having more time to spend with the ones you love and making more money. Because that's what one-to-many teaches you. So you go from there to there. Don't sell all the stuff you're going to need to learn between, because no one cares and no one wants that. No one wants to learn stuff. They just want to go from that to that. So now that I've told you all that information, I can tell you that this task for today, we're going to still take the idea you've had on idea 1, whatever that idea was. Remember the parenting of the SEN children? That was the one we decided on that we're going to do. You've already written your freebie to get your audience in. You've now nurtured that audience. Let's say you've done that for 3 to 6 months. Like you've been talking to them all the time. Maybe you've been selling a bit of one-to-one help. Maybe you've been doing some stuff. And then you're ready to sell them a course. You've written the sales page and you are ready to go. You're not going to write the whole course yet. You're going to kind of know what the modules are going to be so you can write the sales page, but you're going to write it after people have bought it. You're going to write it as you go along. Unless you're really scared, then you can write it before, just if that panics you. So then what you're going to do is you're going to sell the transformation. I'm going to tell you how to launch it tomorrow, but for now, I need you to know what that transformation statement is going to be. So I want you to, for today's task, to write the transformation statement of your course or membership or ebook or whatever it's going to be. I love that. How to write for business from wrong to right. I like what you did there. You don't have to be as clever as Gareth. It can just be a normal one. How would you apply this to a subscription box? Even when it's products, they're still getting something out of it from, let's think of a subscription box. So Lauren Prentice's subscription box is called the Business Box, and it's got all this stuff for a female entrepreneur, and it helps every month because there's stuff in there for a female entrepreneur. So from boring bills through the post, fed up of getting just boring bills through the post for your business? What about an amazing box every month filled with things that a CEO needs? Like, you can still sell the transformation, the thing that it is. And also, all products give you a transformation. Now, when you have a product, what I would say, if you have a product or a subscription box, I would try and build a community around it so that it's also a membership of some kind, so that people pay you every single month for something rather than just one-offs. So yeah, that's the kind of thing that you can do. And, if you see a lot of the product-based businesses out there, the way they make it into a membership is to teach something that goes with it. So I had a client once that had, the pelvic floor things. There's like a tool for pelvic floor that you use. I'm not going to get graphic here. But that tool helps your pelvic floor after you have a baby and things like that. So rather than just selling this tool, she decided to put a whole membership around pelvic floor help, and people got that as the product as part of the membership. So she got paid every single month. So it's a much better way of doing things, because you want recurring revenue. You want to continually get paid, not just one-offs. And that's a way to do it. From financially trapped to financially free through property investing. I love that. That's brilliant. Silly question. Could you start off with a course, then follow up with an ebook? Yeah. Or you could do what most people do, is they start off helping people on one-to-one because you don't need as many people. So as you're growing your audience, you could make some money just helping individual people. Like, let's say with a power hour, where you're on Zoom with them for an hour and you're telling them what you know and how you can help them. So they could pay you that way. Then you do a course, then you do a membership or a subscription box, because as you're doing a course, you will grow more people into your audience, and you need more people to make more money with things like memberships and subscription boxes. You need less people to make the same amount of money with a course because they usually pay more. So that's the way I would normally do it. But memberships are great. I love my membership. I also have courses, many of them. I have group work. I have templates. I have content calendars, all the passive income things. Okay, that's all you have to do for today. That's not that bad. Be a compassionate employer. So where were they before, Leanne? Where was that employer? Were they a bit clueless as to why they keep losing staff? You know, what is the problem that that employer has? Let's get deep into their psyche. What is the issue that that employer has? Is he fed up of people saying that he's a crap employer? Is he fed up of, notice how I've changed that to a he. I did not do that. I didn't do that with any thought behind it. But I did have a really, really, really bad boss once that was a man, as you will know if you've read my book. So think about where they were before and where they want to be. So what does this employer want to be? They want to be an amazing employer that people love to work for. Where are they starting from? Maybe they're not that. So that's the transformation. I think this one is the hardest one, actually. Some people think tomorrow's is, but I think this one is pretty tough. But it doesn't have to be anything amazing. You just need to think about where they were before. From sporadic sales to consistent revenue. First-time funnel creation for busy entrepreneurs. I love that. Get to know your neurodivergent teen. What's the problem? Where were they before? Where was that? How was that parent feeling about their neurodivergent teen? Clueless? Didn't understand neurodiversity? Go from one side to the other. Okay. I'm going to leave you to do it. Any questions, you know where I am. You can do this. Remember all the prizes that are at stake here. And remember to put in your diary Monday evening at 8 p.m. when this is all going to make sense, because we're going to put it all together. So make sure that's in your diary. You don't have to sign up if you don't want to. I'm just going to put the Zoom link in here for you anyway. It's in the events tab so that you can just go and watch it. And I'll send you an email with it on as well. All right. Go do it. Remember that Renee will be in at 1 p.m. for your mindset session to keep your mindset steady. That's so, so important. And I will see you tonight at 7:30 to see how you've got on. I'll see you later.